YouTubers, once again. Welcome to the third episode of this JavaScript semi-advanced tutorial series. In this tutorial series, we're going to be having a look at automatic global creation. So basically, as you all are aware probably, JavaScript is a very forgiving language. So usually it lets you do something like var my variable to create a variable, and then you give it a value of my value. So let's log this out in the console. So we log out my variable. Okay, I'll go to Chrome Developer Tools, and when we refresh we should get my value. Okay, so let's create a function called my function, and let's call my function up here, sorry, down here, and then inside the function let's log console.log my variable. So remember, we logged it outside and then in the function, so we should see my value logged twice. Okay, so we see it twice. Okay, so one more thing as well. If we do something like let's say var some other variable equal to other value. Okay, so in this variable here only exists inside this function. So when we do something like console.log some other variable, let me just do this after calling the function. So we call the function. So now what do we expect to see? We expect to see my value, and then what else? I just want you to create a mental model for outputs before you actually see them. So we have a variable here, my variable, we log it out, so that's fine, we'll see my value. So we create a function with some other value, then we log my variable, so we should see two my values being logged out, and then after the variable, after calling the function, we just log out this other variable, some other variable which was created inside the function. So what should be logged out for this value here? That's what I want you to think about. Okay, so as I'm sure some of you might have guessed, it will be undefined, or some other variable is not defined. So that will be an error actually, because this function actually, it's not just undefined, it actually doesn't exist outside of this function here. So one other thing that I want you guys to know about is, if you forgot to do something like var, if you forgot to do var and you just give this function a value here, that is define it without the var keyword, let's see what will happen now. Remember last time with the var keyword, it threw an error. It said it didn't even exist. It didn't even say it's undefined. Undefined means something exists but it doesn't have a value. But throwing an error like this means that it actually doesn't exist. It's not even defined. Okay, so let's refresh. Other value. So what happened? Basically, when you don't put the var keyword in front of a variable, it gets pushed up to the window object, the global object, that is. So let's come in here and say window dot, what's the name of this variable? It's called some other function, some other variable. So we say windows. Okay, sorry, that was my mistake. It's not windows, it's window dot some other. So it gets pushed up to the window object. So basically what that means is, any variable that you don't give the var keyword is automatically pushed up outside of its scope. So as I said, we'll cover scope later, but just think of scope as where something exists. So the scope of this variable is just inside this function when you declare it properly. So the fact that this works even without giving the var keyword doesn't mean it's a proper declaration. So the right way to declare a variable is to do var and then something. So when you forget that var keyword, it might still work, but unexpected stuff happens. So this is not right that we declare the variable here and define it and then it still exists here. It's not supposed to exist outside. So that's something that, you know, might come back and hurt you as well. And I know I keep saying this word hurt, but I mean it in a less aggressive way. Basically, guys. Okay, so so that's what automatic global creation means. So anything that doesn't have the var keyword is automatically pushed up to the window object. Okay, so guys, that's it for this tutorial series. I hope it was helpful, and as usual, please rate and subscribe if this was helpful. And have a look at other tutorials. I have a lot of tutorials, about 80 tutorials before this, and I cover various topics ranging from carousels to pagination to Ajax and JavaScript templating and the like. So have a look at those if you might like them. And yeah, that's it. I hope to see you in the next video where we will cover JavaScript scopes. Thanks for watching. Bye.